Hello, welcome back to Political Excess. With just about 2 weeks remaining, let's do another weekly poll recap and see if anything's changed. So let's get on Real Clear Politics. Let's start with yesterday, Saturday. And first up, we've got an Oregon governor's poll from Data for Progress. It is a Democratic pollster, but they did use over 1,000 likely voters. Christine Drazen, the Republican, is up 1 point, 43-42 over Tina Kotek. Betsy Johnson, the independent candidate, she's down at 12%. So her support is waning a little bit, and I would imagine most of that is going to Tina Kotek. Still a very tight race. In the U.S. Senate election there, Ron Wyden is up only 11, 51-40 over Joe Ray Perkins. That is lower than I would expect for Ron Wyden. Next, there's a poll for Michigan governor from Signal, Republican pollster, but that was with over 1,900 likely voters. And Gretchen Whitmer has a 6-point advantage, 50-44 over Tudor Dixon. The race seems to have narrowed a little bit from those double-digit leads we were seeing from Whitmer. I'd say it's actually almost getting to the point where it's competitive at this point. Back on Friday, we've got Minnesota governor from Trafalgar, and that shows a tied race, 46 apiece for Tim Walz and Scott Jensen. That is the closest poll we've seen yet out of Minnesota. Maybe it's an outlier because it's Trafalgar, or that race actually might be tightening here at the end. And only 46% support for either candidate. That means those third parties and undecideds are siphoning off that remaining 8%. Here's another Michigan governor's poll from Mitchell Research. That shows Gretchen Whitmer only up 2 points, 49-46 over Tudor Dixon. That is very close within the margin of error, and that makes it look like a pure toss-up. Previously, Whitmer had a clear advantage, and she probably still does have an edge. I would be surprised if Whitmer lost in the end, but that chance is increasing here in the final 2 weeks. Next, Florida Senate and Governor. Marco Rubio is up 6, 48-42 over Val Demings. Ron DeSantis is up double digits, 11 points, 51-40 over Charlie Crist. That is from Florida Atlantic University with 719 likely voters. I don't think this is actually much of a surprise anymore at this point. Rubio and DeSantis were already favored, probably heavily favored. DeSantis probably will actually outperform Rubio, but even the Senate race is largely off the table at this point for Democrats. Next in Ohio, for the U.S. Senate, J.D. Vance is up 3, 47-44 over Tim Ryan. For Governor Mike DeWine, he's up 18, 55-37 over Nan Whaley. That's basically in line with what we've been seeing. DeWine has massive leads, while Vance seems to have small but more consistent leads now. I would still expect Vance to win by over 5 points at the end, and I think Democrats thought this might have been in play. That really seems like wishful thinking. Here's an updated Texas governor's poll. Greg Abbott, he's in double digits now. 11-point advantage, 54-43 over Beto O'Rourke. And that one as well is also pretty much totally out of reach at this point for the Democrats. Here's a Washington U.S. Senate poll. Patty Murray is up 8 points, 49-41 over Tiffany Smiley. That's not a blowout for Patty Murray, but I think it indicates that it's not really going to get to the point where it's truly competitive for the Republicans. We've got a Maine governor's poll. Janet Mills up 10 points, 49-39 over Paul LePage. And we've got Maine congressional races. Jared Golden is up 8, 47-39 over Bruce Poliquin. In that first district, Shelley Pingree has a 34-point advantage. I don't even know why they polled it. But these other two races, governor and the second district, those are probably also out of reach now for the Republicans in Maine. Virginia's second district, it's tied between Elaine Luria and Jen Kiggins, 45 apiece. Let's go down to Thursday, Pennsylvania. From insider advantage, 46 apiece for John Fetterman and Dr. Oz. So that Pennsylvania race has continued to narrow, and we're now seeing a tie. Can't wait to see that debate. That could be make or break for both of these candidates. And Josh Shapiro is up 7, 49-42 over Doug Mastriano. Next, CBS News YouGov. They polled Nevada, U.S. Senate. Adam Laxalt is up 1 point, 49-48 over Catherine Cortez Masto. And for governor, it's a tie race, 48 apiece between Joe Lombardo and Steve Sisolak. Next, Trafalgar polled North Carolina U.S. Senate. Ted Budd is up 4 points, 48-44 over Sherry Beasley. It's probably close to what I'm expecting there. Another Oregon governor's poll. Christine Drazen is up 2 from a Republican pollster, Hoffman Research. 37-35. Betsy Johnson is at 17 points. Next, for New York governor, Kathy Hochul is up 6 points, 47-41 over Lee Zeldin. And that U.S. Senate race, Schumer is up 14, 52-38 over Joe Pinion. So that New York governor's race is tightening up a little bit. Massachusetts governor, that was never going to be in play. Maura Healey is up 23, 56-33 over Jeff Deal. Georgia's 2nd Congressional District, Sanford Bishop, he's up 3, 47-44 over Chris West. Back here on Wednesday in Pennsylvania, John Fetterman is up 2 points, 48 to 46 over Dr. Oz. And for governor, Josh Shapiro was up 11, 53 to 42 over Doug Mastriano. How about Arizona Senate? Mark Kelly is only up 1 point, 47 to 46 over Blake Masters. That is from Daily Wire and Trafalgar, so it might have a little bit of Republican slant, but that race does appear to have narrowed up. And for governor, Kerry Lake is up 3 points, 49 to 46 over Katie Hobbs. Pennsylvania's 7th District, Susan Wild is only up 1 point, 47 to 46 over Lisa Scheller. That's going to be an interesting House race. Back on Tuesday, U.S. Senate in Georgia from Landmark Communications. It's a tied race, 46 apiece, between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. For governor, Brian Kemp, he's up 6, 51 to 45 over Stacey Abrams. And there's also a poll from Insider Advantage that shows Warnock up 2, 46 to 44, and Brian Kemp up 7, 50 to 43. That Georgia race has been very narrow. It's been back and forth for the last 6 months, while Brian Kemp has consistently maintained a roughly mid-single-digit lead. Here's another U.S. Senate poll for Arizona. Mark Kelly is up 2, 42 to 40. A lot of undecideds in that poll. For governor, Katie Hobbs is up 1 there, 46 to 45. And we've got an Emerson poll for Michigan governor. Gretchen Whitmer up 5 points, 49 to 44 over Tudor Dixon. Quinnipiac, they polled New York governor. Kathy Hochul up 4 points, 50 to 46. Chuck Schumer's up 12 in that poll. Siena polled New York governor, and Kathy Hochul's up 11 there, 52 to 41. Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District, Angie Craig, 1 point advantage, 46 to 45 over Tyler Kistner. And quickly, let's cover Monday. North Carolina Senate, Ted Budd, 6 point advantage. Gretchen Whitmer's up 4, 48 to 44. Minnesota Governor, Tim Walz, he's up 5, 47 to 42. Ohio Senate, Vance has a 2 point advantage, 47 to 45. The last one I'll mention is Oklahoma Governor. This one, Joy Hoffmeister, actually has a 1 point advantage, 46 to 45 over Kevin Stitt. And last, I'll switch over to 538 and isolate to just U.S. House races, because there's some other ones on here that are not on Real Clear Politics. Most of them are internals from each campaign, so you have to remember to take those a little bit with a grain of salt, but they're on here if you want to look at them. And that concludes another weekly poll recap. I know I went a little quickly there. There's a lot to get through. This is the week where it seemed like the red wave has reemerged. There's a couple bright spots for Democrats, possibly in Oklahoma, but this is it. There's been debates. There's going to be a few more coming up. The ads are all over the place. Everyone is focused on politics. The issues are clear. There's still room for a scandal, an October-November surprise. But right now, this was a good week for the Republicans. Doesn't mean it's going to continue. But if it does, the Republicans are going to have a very good night in just over a couple of weeks. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the polls this week? Did these change anything for you? Let me know down below, and if you enjoyed this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.